Hey everybody! So I've been reading your comments and feedback on my How to Proceed video, wherein I talked about how difficult it is to produce KHF content at the moment and asked if people would be okay with me doing more out-of-character content moving forward. And most of you seem to be okay with that idea. Most of you gave me very positive feedback, and others also said that they'd be willing to wait for more KHF content, and both forms of feedback I'm incredibly thankful for, so thanks a lot for that. You guys are seriously the best. But yeah, seeing as most people seem to be okay with the idea, I thought I'd give my thoughts and opinions on, well, at least the first season of A Certain Magical Index. As I said in the other video, obviously this isn't going to be as theatrical as KHF's final thoughts on it, which obviously is coming at a later date, but hopefully you'll still find this entertaining and informative. Okay, so let's talk about A Certain Magical Index. I think the first thing I have KHF say in KHF's final thoughts on Index, and don't worry, this isn't a major spoiler, this isn't one of the best jokes in the script. I think the first thing I have KHF say is that, he puts it like this: I've seen good anime, I've seen bad anime, and now I've experienced an anime that's just kind of... and that's the best way to describe it. It's just kind of... it's okay, I guess. I mean, the thing is, I found it didn't really do anything new or revolutionary. It was nothing I hadn't seen before from an anime. I mean, the premise behind the city, the premise behind Academy City, is an interesting one. I do like the premise behind Academy City, but the execution of how the plot goes about and how the characters interact with one another, it's nothing I haven't seen before, and quite honestly I've seen it done better before. But at the same time I have seen it done worse before, so yeah, this stands to me as just an anime that's just kind of average, really, just kind of in the middle. Now, people are going to tell me in the comment section that A Certain Scientific Railgun is much better. From what I understand, the fanbase, the majority opinion is that Railgun is the better product. And I will certainly continue to read the Railgun manga, and I will check out the Railgun anime when I can. But, you know, as of right now, all I've seen fully is the first season of Index. Yeah, Certain Magical Index to me just feels like an average anime, really. I mean, you by no means feel like you wasted your time by watching it, and by all means I do recommend giving it a watch. It's just, it wasn't anything mind-blowing to me. Now, people who know me know that I am a Christian man. I don't just wear this for fashion. I am actually a Christian man, so obviously people are going to want to know what I think about the religious elements of the plot. I didn't actually bring any of this up in the KHF video, because obviously now this applies to KHF. This is something only I can talk about. Like, the thing is, I know it talks about corruption within the English Church, and, you know, and the possibility that Necessarius is one of these corrupt divisions. Like, I have no delusions about my faith. I do realise there have been, and still are, to this day, corrupt divisions of the church. I fully realise that. I don't pretend those don't exist. You know, I fully am aware that things like this do happen in real life. So honestly, it doesn't bother me, because it doesn't feel like it's outright insulting Christianity. It's just talking about where there are corrupt divisions, which there are. There's corrupt divisions in any religion, and yeah, I personally don't think it's, you know, blasphemous in any sort of way. It's just talking about a certain subject matter when it pertains to religion. So yeah, I didn't think there was anything offensive in the plot. It's just, yeah, talking about something that we can't pretend isn't there. One thing I will credit it on doing better than I've seen in other seasons is having a main protagonist who kind of has a bit of an attitude, but he doesn't come off as, like, he doesn't come off as a basically. Yeah, I think like, yeah, Toma has a bit of an attitude, but it comes off more as him just being a teenage boy, because find me the kid his age who doesn't have an attitude, honestly. Yeah, so I think they do a good job just putting it over as just him being a teenage boy, but not being a jerk, basically. I mean, he does have several moments where he's actually nice, scattered throughout the series, and they do actually feel genuine. They don't feel like a forced in event just to show, oh look, he's actually got a sweet side, now we can instantly forgive him because he's male. You know, they actually feel genuine. They actually feel like there is a good person behind all the teenage angst, basically. So yeah, I don't think Toma's a particularly bad character. He's just an idiot, basically. But there is a good person in there, and I like that. I like that. I think they did that better than it's been done in other series, because in other series I've had the story pretty much ruined for me because I feel the main protagonist is overly aggressive. And I'm like, you seriously expect me to take this seriously? This is one step short of being an abusive relationship. But no, that's not how this comes off here. I mean, yeah, they do hurt each other, but it comes off more as comedy here than I have seen it tried to be put over in other series. So I think Toma's this kind of archetype done right. Oh, by the way, Index is a fellow Londoner. I could tell that from her incredibly thick London accent. Oh wait. This always amuses me in anime dubbing when a character's meant to be from another country, but yet they still talk with an American accent. I mean, I guess you could say it's because they're speaking Japanese, so speaking in English with American voice actors, it's meant to be... Alright, you know what, it's too confusing to go into this, but the point is I find it amusing when characters who are meant to be from other countries speak with American accents. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen in English dubbing how bad it can be when American voice actors try to do other accents, like Tiffany Grant's awful German accent in the Chrono Crusade dub. You know, I've seen how bad that can get, but it's like, really, would it have been that hard to actually hire an English voice actress to do the voice of Index? You don't even have to fly them in, you know, you could just do it over Skype or something, or have them record it at their own home and then send it to you, you know? You just send them the time frame you need to have them say it in, you know? Would it really be that much of an expense? But whatever on that point. The dub of this series was kind of overall, and I think moving forward I'll probably watch the rest of the series. I know some of it's been dubbed and some of it hasn't, but I'll probably just watch it all subtitled from here on out, because the dub was kind of not just because of Index's voice, and I'll get back to that in a sec. But onto Index proper. Right, Index... my problem with Index isn't so much with her as a character, because I did genuinely enjoy her as a character. I thought she was going to get annoying at some points, and she kind of does, but honestly it's not too bad. I've seen it done worse, like I said, but I've also seen it done better. That's going to be a repeating point throughout this review. But, you know, Index doesn't get too overly annoying. My problem with Index is how little she's actually in the series. It's like, for a series called A Certain Magical Index, there isn't actually a lot of Index in the series, and that would be fine if more plotlines actually revolved around her, because you can have a series be about someone but barely have them in it, but, you know, the major plot points still revolve around them, even though they're oblivious to it. But with Index, that only happens right at the beginning, and then it only comes up again, like, right in the last couple of minutes of the last couple of episodes, and it feels like they just tacked it on. They're like, oh crap, we need to put Index back into the story! So yeah, my problem is that Index is barely involved with the plotline at all. Like, her role is by the end of it is basically this. It's like, why is it called A Certain Magical Index if you're not going to make it about Index? Why not call it A Certain Unfortunate Toma or something like that? Oh, it's like... but it's a shame, because I did like Index, and I think there's a lot of potential with the character. And honestly, in the last couple of episodes, I don't really want to say what's going on because I don't want to spoil anything, but in the last couple of episodes she was actually kind of cool. I thought she was actually pretty cool in the final couple of episodes, but like, yeah, it's like, let's see more of that. Let's see more of that. I want to see more of Index being a badass, basically, you know? Let's see more of that. This is meant to be her show. I know people are going to want me to talk about Mikoto Musica. And, oh gosh, I do this whole thing about this in the KHF video. I've made this into a huge thing. It shouldn't be a huge thing, but it's gonna be a huge thing with the fans because they're not gonna like what I have to say. You know where this is going. Oh gosh, I'm digging my own grave here. Okay, I know Musica is an incredibly popular character. I know plenty of people love her. Some people literally, even though she's only like 14, which is creepy. But anyway, yeah, I know Musica's an incredibly popular character, but I don't like Mikoto Musica. Well, if I'm going out, it's gonna be on my terms. But seriously, I might have to after this, because people are going to be cross with me. I'm sorry, but Musica to me just comes off as overly aggressive and, you know, gets needlessly angry over the most trivial of things. Now, I do get that, you know, it goes back to something similar I said about Toma. I mean, Musica, she's 14. Find me the 14-year-old who doesn't get annoyed at everything at the drop of a hat. You know, I get it, this is just what teenagers are like, but it doesn't come off as teenage angst as much as it does with Toma. It just comes off as like, girl, take a chill pill. Seriously, relax. They haven't even done anything that bad. I mean, in the case of some of the crap Shirai does, who I'll get back into, who I'll get back to in a second. Oh gosh, that's hard to discuss. I'll get back to Shirai in a minute. In the case of some of the things she does, I understand her getting aggressive, but it's like, girl, Toma hasn't even said anything that bad. Why are you getting cross with him? And yeah, that's my problem with her. I mean, you know, I get it. She's a tsundere character, but the thing is, it's very hard for me in general. I don't really like the tsundere character type. You know, I have seen it done well. I have seen it done well, and in some cases there have been tsundere characters that I like, but I don't think it's done particularly well with Musica. Look, there's a fine line between being a strong, independent character and one who's actually overly stubborn and aggressive. And I think people get confused with this when it pertains to Musica, because to me, it doesn't come off as independence, it just comes off as her being stubborn. And, you know, maybe throughout the course of the series and throughout the course of Railgun, she'll improve on that and get over her stubbornness a bit more. Maybe there'll be a character growing arc for her, but early on, to me, it just seems like she's overly stubborn. Oh, and this is a point that rarely ever comes up about her. She is a thief. She is a thief. Like, the way she kicks that vending machine, I know it's buggy, I know it's glitchy, I know it steals people's money. Then you should tell somebody about this. You should call a repairman. You know? Tell somebody who can do something about it. But no, she instead opts to kick it and take all the drinks that come from it for free. So ergo, she is a thief. But people seem to forget about this because there's a character that has a lesbian attraction to her. Oh, it doesn't matter if she's a thief because I have my Yuri ships with her. That seems what it's like with some people. Oh gosh, I hope people know I'm just kidding about. But yeah, no, I don't care for Musica, but I'm obviously in the minority on this. And like I say, I'm completely open to the fact that she'll probably get better as the series goes on and grow as a character. I'm just saying this season of Index does not do her justice. But perhaps as I go on watching this franchise and reading the manga and stuff, I'll see her grow as a character and see how she develops. A lot of people will want to know what I think of Shirai because she's very much a Marmite character in that you're either going to love her or you're going to hate her. And I hate Marmite. So yeah, I do not care for Shirai. I think she is very ill. I think she needs serious help. I think she is very scary and creepy. I think she is one mental breakdown away from being freaking Tharya from Fire Emblem Awakening. Is it Tharya or Tharja? I always say Tharya because I think it's meant to be a ya sound, but I know a lot of people say Tharja. But tomato. See if you get what I mean by that. Anyway, this isn't about Tharya, Tharja. Whatever. This is about the fact that, oh my gosh, like, Shirai used to go to jail. But then again, the problem is that a jail couldn't hold her because she could just teleport out of it. It's like... As most people know, I don't like perverted humour. I don't like pervert characters in general. But that, you know, it doesn't just apply to male characters. It applies here as well to characters like Shirai, because she's disgusting, basically. But people look the other way with her because, oh, it's the opportunity for Yuri pairings. No, this behaviour is inexcusable. This is not healthy. This is not good for the younger viewer. I'm not getting into the younger viewers thing again. I'm going to elaborate on that point at a later time. I'm not getting into that again because I know that got me in trouble during the Amazon's property review. Oh gosh, but like, yeah, no, Shirai, no, bad touch, no, go, no, you bad woman, you bad girl. And of course people want to know what I thought of Accelerator. The thing about Accelerator is, like, I liked him when he was a villain. I thought he was really good as a villain. I honestly thought he was actually kind of cool. As a villain, though, they could have used a better voice for him in the English dub. I mean, this was another problem I had with Accelerator. Was so badly cast in the dub, and I think a lot of people agree with this. It's like, at times, his voice did not match his facial expression at all. There would be times where his face was absolutely insane, like, sanity was completely gone from him. His face looked absolutely insane, like complete psychopath, but his voice didn't sound more than just slightly angry. It's similar to the problems I had with the Higurashi dub, you know. It's just they didn't get the emotion that I'm sure the Japanese voice actor put over when they were voicing the character. I don't know if it's because you're afraid of hurting your lungs, your vocal cords, or what, but yeah, they didn't properly get over the emotion that his face was conveying. So that's another problem I had with the dub, and that's why moving forward I'll probably watch subtitled. But I really liked Accelerator when he was a villain. What I did not care for is how later on they tried to get me to try to convince us that there might be a better side to him. There might be hope for him. Yeah, there might be hope of salvation, even though he's a mass murderer. I mean, personally, I don't think the clones that he killed should count as people, but the series put over that they should. They tried to put over in the plot that we should think of them as people. I don't think we should. I don't think you should, but the series, if you're going to put over that these sisters need to be counted as people, then don't try and make me feel sorry for the guy who's been slaughtering them. This guy is a mass murderer, and if we're going to count these as actual people, he should be in jail. I know he's got immunity from jail because it was a government-funded project, but, like, the guy's a mass murderer. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get over that fact so easily, just because, oh, now he's got a little sister character, so there's room for redemption for him. He slaughtered so many of her kind. Oh, and you're going to try and say, well, actually, he didn't want to do it. He gave taunts and bravado because he wanted them to run away. No, he gave taunts and bravado because he's a cocky, arrogant you know? I'm sorry, I know, Accelerator's another character I know is intensely popular, and I'm not even saying I really dislike him, I just preferred him when he was a villain, because I don't buy him as being an anti-hero. I preferred him when he was a psychopath villain, because I honestly thought he was actually really well done there. But yeah, Accelerator, I'm sorry guys, I don't buy the whole anti-hero thing, I'm sorry, but if you're going to try and say that the clones were actually people, then he's a mass murderer. So yeah, I've droned on about this series much longer than I'd actually hoped I would. I tried to keep this brief, guys, I really did. You're not going to believe it by the video's length, but I tried to keep this brief. Oh my goodness, I talk too much. But yeah, those were my thoughts on the series and the characters in a nutshell, basically. So hopefully you found this video entertaining and amusing, so hopefully moving forward I can do more videos like this, but let me know what you think in the comment section. Tell me whether you liked it, whether you hated it, whether you agree with me, whether you don't agree with me, whether you're going to kill me because I don't like Mikoto Musica. Comment, like, subscribe, bye!